You hear how crisp that is? You probably don't because you're hearing a compressed version from the stream, but I'm hearing 24-bit 48 kilohertz. Actually, let me check the bitrate on this one. So very exciting news. Amazon got my letters. In all the debates over music formats, I basically just been saying once we get CD quality streaming, then that's fine. That's all anyone really needs. Vinyl is a much lower dynamic range than CDs or anything of the same fidelity as a CD. And they're physical music discs, so they can deteriorate and get damaged. They can just wear out from use, and there's noise, and there's, the usual record player stuff. CDs, also a physical music disc, which once you have the convenience of even digital files, the utility starts to become questionable, especially with how much storage we have available now. So CDs, physical music disc, they do have a large dynamic range, and 16-bit 44.1 kilohertz is a pretty solid, it's a really good high quality. CDs got a bad rap when they first came out because people didn't know how to properly master for them, and so when they put vinyl masters onto CD, it sounded quiet and didn't come through well. So that's why everything had to be remastered for CD the first time. Every time after that is just been to cash in. But so the only problem with streaming is that up until recently, it's been much lower quality. But the thing is, the video streaming has gone up to 4K. That usually includes high resolution audio, or at least higher than a lot of MP3s, depending on the bit rate of the video. But video itself just takes up so much more bandwidth that high resolution audio streaming should not really be a problem. And I wouldn't even be surprised if they've been able to do it and held it back to try to get more out of the download sales. Because once you can stream at the same resolution as a CD quality download, then what's the point of even taking up the file space? So Amazon just announced high res streaming, and it was 90 days free trial. I was like, yes, I will try that. And I'm already thinking about dumping Spotify because it works. And so here's the deal. There's it's not the entire catalog, which is not surprising, but it is a fairly large amount of stuff. A lot of stuff HD, which what they mean by HD is 44.1 kilohertz 16-bit, which is CD quality. So that's good enough for me. Now, I'll talk separately about the super high res stuff in a minute. But so they've got that. And then for some slightly smaller amount, but surprisingly, the stuff that I'm like, how does this Steely Dan? Boom, Ultra 8. There's been a lot of stuff that's Ultra HD. And that just means 24-bit and then anywhere from 44.1 to 192 maybe, or at least 96K. 96K is really all you need, and then there's actually some issues with 192, and it actually may be worse in some ways. And frankly, 2448, which is what I've been doing most of my stuff at, is fine, because back in the day, back in Wisconsin, I had a pretty serious home theater setup, and the speakers were also pretty damn good for music. The front speakers were particularly, they weren't quite like towers, but they were basically the same amount of drivers as a small tower. So there was a low frequency, a mid, and a tweeter, and they were very good. They were from JBL right before they just went to shit. They were the last good, truly good JBL speakers, and so I got them for nothing because they were getting closed out. And anyway, I think my former roommate still has them and says they still rock, and I'm like, that's awesome. Thank you for giving me 10 years extra credit on my smart speaker buy. So I would jump on I got a DVD player that I think could do DVD audio, and then I think briefly I had the Xbox Ultra HD, the one that got that Blu-ray destroyed, the wrong one. I was like, this is probably the wrong one, but I already have the Xbox, so whatever. And so with both of those, I was able to hear some amount of 24-bit audio, because there are certain albums that are available. Neither of those formats caught on enough for there to be a huge library, which is I'm actually shocked at the amount of Ultra HD stuff on here, because it was available. I mean, maybe they were still putting out some discs of, again, particularly audiophile. Like if you like Steely Dan, back in my first reference for Steely Dan is hearing clips of Josie, and I think Josie, Peg, and maybe Black Cow. Basically Asia. I don't know if it was playing all of Asia, but those are the three I remember bits of. At computer stores, that's particularly CompUSA and Best Buy, and they were and you would push a demo button and you'd be like, wow, that's so crisp, because they are like good reference records. So Amazon got my letters, and now we have HD and Ultra HD, and I think there's somewhere that it'll tell you the specific bit rate of the, oh yeah, down here, 24-bit, 48 kilohertz. Let me zoom this. I tried to put on a Toto album. It was not HD, and it was immediately apparent, and so I was surprised. I honestly didn't know how much fidelity would come through in my fucking little AirPods, and I can hear that they're still EQ'd to the AirPod. Like it's a weird set of frequencies and all that, but I already consider that an acceptable set of weird frequencies versus a lot of earbuds for myself personally. And I actually like that they're not totally closed, because in New York, I like to be a little aware of what's going on around me so I don't die. I thought it was very cool when they came out with this, and I signed up for the free trial, and I was like, listen, if this works, I'm all about it. Although I'm sure in like a year, every service will have it probably. But that's great. I gotta pay tribute to the Amazon overlords. It's in HD! Ooh, and it's remixed and remastered. But the thing is, like, the artist doesn't have to choose between platforms anyway. They just put their shit everywhere if they're smart, and also if they use any decent distributing service like Is there more like heavy breathing on this version? Or, oh, it's that HD quality audio. I can really hear the creepy breathing at the beginning of the song. Also, I noticed I can like turn it up more without it going from too quiet to hurting my ears, because it's less compressed, and that's beautiful. Oh, the future is wonderful. People don't understand. Stuff's just it's either gonna get better or you know, we're all gonna die. One of the two. It's one of the two. It's either gonna be amazing